We are building AI-powered solutions. We are accelerating breakthroughs. And that's how we have crafted this beautiful journey for all of us.
If you're curious and if you build the connection across the organization, you will always find ways to grow and make impact.
Welcome to the Miracle Makers podcast, everyone. We have the business operations team here, and what a great conversation ahead of us. We're going to start with the why. Why business operations? Why hubs? And while Madeline will start off the conversation with that, we'll move on to the how. We're leveraging technology in everything that we're doing. And then we also have our amazing colleagues from R&D as well as medical scientific writing to tell us about the actual implementation of all of this on ground. So I'm super excited, looking forward to the conversation with all of you. And first up, a very warm welcome. And Madeline, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the vision, as I said, the why. Why was this decided to be done in the organization? I know today as business operations, we are indeed the catalyst for modernization, but it'll be great to hear from you on how you started the journey and how far we've come.
Well, thank you. It has indeed been a very exciting journey for the last 2.5 years, and everyone around the table played a significant role in helping us get to where we are. I think everything was effectively supporting our ambition of becoming an R&D-driven, AI-powered organization. And I think we built this catalyst, as you said, to help drive that exactly for Sanofi as an organization. Now almost 7,000 Sanofians strong. We've built this incredible hub network. We have representatives from 3 around the table today. But whilst it was a very human-centric transformation, actually what it was supposed to do as well is help us to really deeply transform the way we're running processes, leveraging technology, and also bringing the human plus AI component to life.
So, Madeline, where do you think we are today in terms of your roadmap?
I think we've come a significantly long way. We've really been driving this transformation at lightning speed.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I'm always very cautious because we still have a lot of work ahead of us. Now we really need to show our ability to apply process expertise and technology to drive that transformation through into the organization. So that will take another few years. I think we have to be realistic around what is ahead of us. But I'm extremely excited. I've just come back from Hyderabad, where we inaugurated our second phase. I think our teams are ready to drive that transformation. We've been embedding continuous improvement capabilities in all of our hubs, created a real momentum around it. And I think the teams are now ready to drive that next level of transformation.
That's right. Like you said, 7,000 plus people. Today, of course, we have folks from Hyderabad, Budapest, and Barcelona. But before we go ahead, Ahmed, I'd love to hear from you because you are, like you say, the guy on the table, on the tech table, doing stuff. So tell us, how are you bringing this vision that Madeline has spoken about into reality?
Yeah, sure. Like to give a concrete example, we built the One AI platform from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
Like seeing where it is today is incredible. It's now used more than 50 different teams across the Sanofi. What makes it special? Speed and accessibility. Before, if a team wanted to start AI project, they would have to set up their own environment, like deal with the toolings, infra. It's a headache, so it might take like days, even a weeks. Now they can spin out fully configured environments under a minute. That means like researchers and the data scientists can focus what really matters, the science, the discovery, not the technical setup. So we essentially transformed like a fragmented approach where everyone is doing their own thing into a unified, like standardized system that works for everyone.
Of course. And like I was saying, we have here R&D, medical, and digital, but we are, as we all know, servicing more than 14 towers, including M&S, manufacturing and supply, even corporate-ish functions, procurement, finance, and everything else that lies in between. But to bring the conversation back, And if we were to start talking a little bit more about leveraging this technology in your day to day, Kopan, if I could invite you, I know in clinical trials you guys are doing some cool, amazing stuff. So why don't you talk to us a bit about that?
Yeah, and we are using it quite often because with that tool we are able to forecast a little bit the recruitment rate, which means we have more control over when we can expect to end the recruitment, include the patients, and then fulfill the whole trial because with that we can a little bit shorten the timeline about the whole clinical trial, which is of course an objective and the goal for the whole company because with that we are able to go to the market sooner, which means that innovative therapies can reach the patients sooner.
Absolutely. Anything, Mukul, from your end, from the world of scientific writing and AI and how you're leveraging technology?
Yeah, thanks for asking that, Prachi. I think scientific writing is a very niche area. It takes around 6 months to write a manuscript from writing to submission. We are trying to reduce it down further by utilizing the AI. I think Concierge is really helping us, and we have the Sanofi Gen AI tool as well, which are helping us. So the plan is to reduce the turnaround time.
Wonderful. Madeline, like we always say, half the time, from discovery till the time drugs reach our patients, I think we are on the right track. Anything that you are personally excited or looking forward to in the AI space?
Well, I think what's great just hearing around the table, the teams leveraging the technologies that have been developed. So it's not just about coming up with new ideas and developing new platforms, but actually leveraging and adopting. So, I often hear concierge play being used. I think that's a great example of leveraging enterprise platforms to extract maximum value. And I encourage all of our teams to do more of that going forward. And every time we have the opportunity to visit a hub, there's a new use case being presented of where the teams are leveraging, in particular, these two technologies.
Yeah, wonderful. I think we're going to move from technology a little bit to your personal stories about your career progression, about the kind of accelerated growth you all have seen. So who shall we start with? Perhaps with you, Mukul, because I know you have an interesting story to tell.
So I started in 2021, and it was a very small office. All we had a vision to do something for the company, for the patients. From there, and I was the 101st employee for Medical Hub that time. And I really take pride what we have achieved so far, Madeline. We started with a team of 20 people who were working in scientific communication, and currently there are more than 600 employees who are working. Personally, I started as an individual contributor, and in the journey, it really thought whether I can be a people manager or not. I had my own doubts. And that is where my managers really helped me to understand, give me the perspective. Because sometimes we cannot see from our own eyes. Somebody has to tell us that you can do it.
So a little friendly nudge.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I think the environment what Sanofi provided, whether it was the Brilliant Hub Manager, there are a lot of structured training which are into place. In particular, I would like to call it out. I've been part of Inside Out training program where they talk about the intelligence and empathy. Talk about the balcony approach. That really helped me to see things differently. So I have been part of Sanofi, and I think I have taken almost 3 roles plus 1 stretch assignment. It has been a wonderful journey so far.
Yeah, Mukul, I can share the same good experience about manager supports and, creating the career path because when I joined 2 years ago to Sanofi, I saw that, in the Budapest hub and in all the hubs, we have great opportunities because expanding rapidly. And I had the chance to sit down with my manager, create my individual development plan to see what can I achieve. And connecting to that, I had the chance to start a gig, short-term program as a regional study manager to have a better overview about what we are doing in Sanofi, to have a high point of view about, how we are managing things and so on. And the manager support also helped me to get in the aspiring manager program to prepare me for a future people manager role and also to a mentorship program with a global executive. So yeah, Mukul, different location, but I share the same good experience.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the kind of meaningful impact we are delivering. Ahmed, would you like to talk, or Mukul, share a little bit about the kind of global projects you guys are participating in?
Yeah. So scientific writing is involved across the life cycle of any drug.
Yeah.
When we are taking the preclinical studies, before the clinical studies actually start, we have to see whether the drug has the potential for some safety or efficacy or not. So our role starts just from there, where we have to, do the publications, We have to do the Congress presentations. We go and tell the world that, guys, see, this is what we have. This is the data, what we are looking at. Because from the regulatory perspective also, we have to demonstrate that this is peer-reviewed and
Yeah.
published data.
Yeah.
Okay. And when it goes into more of further phase 1, phase 2 clinical trial, we work on a lot of other Congress stuff. We help in making sure that our presence is felt within the scientific community, whether it is oncology, whether it is immunology. I think Kuppen has a lot of experience from the clinical trial operations where we get the data from clinical trials
And you
then
pass the baton.
and we pass the baton to him.
Yeah.
Yes, and we talked about a lot today that how we can accelerate all these things because this is in the competition on the market between ourselves, but we also need to mention the quality of the documentations because this is how we can save also some time. When we are submitting a clinical trial, we are receiving questions from the authorities. But if the quality of those documentations are higher, we can expect less questions, which means shorter timelines.
Well, I'm really encouraged, listening to this discussion because we are always communicating within Sanofi that we're doing more than just running and executing processes. And I think you've given great examples, where you're connecting the dots, where you're trying to generate, those benefits for allowing us to move faster. And I've been very encouraged coming back, from the latest hub visit, how we're turning, execution also into insights, into ultimate improvements. We had great examples from our M&S team on this. So we're starting to see those real benefit drivers from the co-location and the centralization of activities.
That's right. And I know while you were in Hyderabad, Madeline, you guys had a meeting with the patient advocacy group as well. Anything that you can share from there? Because that's where the real impact becomes real.
It was indeed an incredible panel of different patient advocacy groups. And I think what was most inspiring for the team was one of the statements made by a mother of a child who's living with a rare disease. And she was reminding everyone that even if they feel they're just making a click or taking an action here in the hub, it has a huge impact for the patient and, those patients in particular who are waiting for innovative medicines. And I've seen this reflected, by some of our team also on social media, because I think it really struck a chord.
Indeed. I think we'll talk a little bit now about culture, because I think that really is the fabric of every organization. And I've been at Sanofi for less than 2 years now, and I think I can proudly say this has been one of the most inclusive, enriching cultural places, given all our global and cultural differences and nuances. I think how we all come together as one Sanofi is indeed something that I feel personally very, very passionate about. In terms of the diversity, all our hubs, in fact, Barcelona and Budapest are higher on the diversity index, if we can say that.
And it's quite a unique thing in Hungary. I can share it with you. We have more than 70 different nationalities.
Well, it was all I could have hoped for when we started the journey, bringing diverse talents together, capturing also very different professions in our hubs. I think it's very enriching for the teams to work together. But what we're now actually looking out for in future is we are seeing ourselves as one of the key contributor to our ambition to become an AI-powered organization is really creating a talent group that is curious, that is really excited about trying out different things and, learning and failing fast in certain areas and constantly augmenting how we work, leveraging, AI, but other technologies as well, embedding, for example, the practices of continuous improvement in the way we work. I think what's been really important, and you brought up great examples, is really connecting everything we do back to our purpose in the organization. I think it means a lot to people understanding how we contribute, and you alluded to the patient panel that we had 2 weeks ago in Hyderabad. All the things we do it in order to deliver medicines to patients faster.
And, like we already spoke, it wasn't just about offering an execution hub or some place where we just sort of execute processes. But as we've all spoken about it, we are building AI-powered solutions. We are accelerating breakthroughs. And that's how we have crafted this beautiful journey for all of us. But I think I'd like us to end this podcast with one piece of advice from each one of you. to people who are looking to continue their journey with us in the organization. So why don't we start with you, Mukul? What would be that one advice from you?
Yeah. I think keeping patients in mind, I would say that if you want to bring a change in patients' life, you should be part of a transformative company like Sanofi, and you should chase the miracle of science to make a meaningful impact on patients' life.
Like I would say, since I'm coming from the technical background, I would say like stay curious and stay connected. Like the technical skills will evolve. Like what you know today might be outdated tomorrow. But if you're curious and if you build the connection across the organization, you will always find ways to grow and make an impact. That would be my advice.
Absolutely, a techie to the core.
Right.
I also have some piece of advice. Be vocal about what you want. And of course, this is a company of opportunities. And a lot of opportunities are coming, especially to the hubs. And if you have your goals, if you determine what you want to do, and you will have the support for that, and you will have all these, what we just mentioned, mentorship programs, gigs, all the trainings for that.
Yeah.
So be determined and you can achieve what you want.
Wonderful. And Madeline, of course, we are going to end with your advice to everyone who's tuned in today.
Well, we have the ambition to continue to be the catalyst of modernization in Sanofi. I think that requires, as you say, curiosity, willingness to change. And therefore, I invite everyone to continue to be the amazing transformation agents that they have been. But we cannot stand still. There are patients waiting, so we continuously have to evolve how we work, how we best serve the organization, how we improve the way we work, and also embrace, of course, technology as well.
Well, thank you so much, Madeline, Kopan, Mukul, Ahmed, for your time today. I think we had a great conversation. It's always fascinating to see how the hub story unfolds, how we're all playing our part in different parts of the world, but unified in our vision. So thank you so much for your time together. And like we said, it's always good to be around miracle makers. So thank you once again.